Delta Force season 10 gun tier list. All right, so this is something I've been asked about a lot so far. I do these every 2 seasons. We're finally doing an updated one. I haven't done a tier list since season 8. Now I will say this is mostly just going to be my opinion. You guys will be able to try and convince me or sway me, or you guys give reasoning to why you believe guns are either better or worse than where I'm putting them. When you make the tier list, are we counting seasonal ammo or normal ammo? I will count seasonal ammo because people are going to be asking about this and watching this during the season they're playing, right? So there is the caveat that I will be taking into account the seasonal ammo. So if you're watching this in a future season, it may not be as plausible to use this gun because, you know, the ammo isn't available anymore. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. The 7.25 double barrel shotgun. Dude, I actually don't even remember. Maybe I should have looked at like my previous season tier list or the season 8 tier list. I don't even know where I put this thing. I won't put it in D tier because there's things that are definitely worse than it. And I know if you use Dragon's Breath, you can hit some nice little one taps with it and cook people a bit. And you know, at the end of the day, still ripping people's legs with a shotgun or buckshot's decent. Nothing too special here. You gotta be down pretty bad with the money, or you're trying to do some goofy shit if you're using this. That's kind of where I'm gonna put it. You can do some special things with it, but obviously you won't be killing people with gear. AK-12, I think it got a slight buff last season, I believe. It might have been a mid-season update where the AK-12 got buffed. It's still just in this really weird spot where they just don't want to give, I feel like, either AKM some love to where it actually can get better. It was this season it got buffed with limb damage. Okay, yeah, I mixed it up. It's just a limb damage buff, you know, like that's just not significant. It's not going to be changing anything. I put this in B tier, but this will probably be on the low 10 of B tier, to be honest, and I could potentially move it later. It's just a mediocre gun, especially now that the bummer is the start of the season. It's extremely expensive because it's a quest gun for the seasonal quest, so there's really no reason to use it because it costs so damn much and it doesn't do anything great. It's just kind of there. AKM, the new Midasbuy skin, I really wish they gave it a buff. It's a fun gun to use, and I will say the AKM, once it kind of chills out in price, it's up in price right now because of the Midasbuy skin, and then also because it is also a seasonal quest item. I think once it chills out in price, this thing is going to be worth it. This is going to be A tier, and this will probably fall lower A tier as we get deeper into it. It's really fun to use and it's good, but it's just not. There's 2 main problems I have with the AKM. One is the fire rate doesn't feel amazing, and 2, it has such a different recoil pattern compared to most other ARs that it's hard to get used to it or get, I think, consistently good at the AKM unless you're using it a lot. Now, it also has the ability to do the hip fire build, which is good budget, and I think it is, again, it's good, but it's basically just not going to be a consistent gun to kill people in full gear or in red, you know, so it's not going to be like a great hard gun or anything like that. AKM is very fun though. I'll be using a lot this season. I got a sick Midasbuy skin, unfortunately, until I get some sort of buff, I think, to its damage or more with like the recoil pattern, so you don't have to go so much like into stability for it. I think it's gonna be low A tier. AKS, nothing's changed. I think every tier list I've ever done, and probably forever, the AKS will forever be a D tier gun. I mean, my D tier guns are pretty much just your scav guns and guns that just like literally cannot be really changed. They're meant to be in the game to kind of just, I don't even know if people even use it really when they first start out, but it's just there. Scav guns are pretty much always going to be D tier. AR-57. So I also want to preface of how I'm going to shape this. The S tier is what I believe is the best guns in the game that will pretty much be consistently good across multiple maps, multiple modes, and have like variability. Like they can be used in different ways. I may change this. Again, I'm not going to finalize things till I actually get everything kind of shaped up, but I want to keep my S tier small. I don't think S tier should ever really be over 5 guns. I think S tier means, you know, the meta guns basically. Only thing that holds back the AR-57 is the penetration on the gun. It is very hard to kill people in full red, therefore it is very hard to kill people in hard mode a lot of times. So right now I'm going to put the AR-57 at the top of A tier, or it's going to be at the bottom of S tier once I kind of finish up the tier list. We'll see here. Moving on to the Ash 12. This is interesting because it has a seasonal attachment this season with the barrel that shoots 2 bullets at the same time, which has definitely increased its value. Again, the problem right now is the cost of the gun is ridiculous, but I normally would put the Ash in B tier, but I think I'll put it at the bottom of A or just mid to A right now because I think you have a lot of options with the Ash, whether it's like budgeting with PD-12 or using the gold bullets and just nuking people with the new barrel. A lot of times for me, Ash is a bit of a bummer just because of how much it costs. I feel like if this was like a 300 to 500k gun consistently, then it'd be like, you could argue it could be like high A tier or even S tier, but the problem is that Ash always just costs so much and the bullets always cost so much, so it's hard to like compare to things that are cheaper. Now this is the interesting one. The Val, if you guys don't know, has been an S tier gun for I don't even know how long. how long has it been? 4 or 5 seasons? I feel like since Prison, I guess season 5, it's been pretty consistently the meta close range weapon in the game. So if you don't know, this season it did get a nerf. It has a -1 damage nerf and then a -4 armor penetration nerf, which means it basically is just what made the Val so good is it had an extremely good pen for being kind of like a more like an SMG type build or close range gun. So you could actually kind of shred red armor, but with the -4 pen, it doesn't feel that way anymore. It's not actually too bad. It might, I think this price has dropped a little bit. The barrel looks a little cheaper and the base gun is below 200k, which is good. I mean, that's something. It definitely wouldn't be worth, or it couldn't be S tier if it was still like $1 million gun. Yeah, so again, the reason, if you guys remember my reasoning for how I do these, S tier is going to be just the kind of the top 5 guns. I think the Val is going to be too situational now. You could kind of flex it on different maps and get away with it, but for me, I think the Val is still going to be good and probably still see it a lot on Prison and still is decent against red armor, but it's going to be too inconsistent, I feel like, on like Space, Brack, AZ3 even. Like as soon as you get to those longer range fights, it's really going to struggle versus other ARs now. So for that, I think it's going to go the top of A tier. I think it will fall out of S tier because I can really only see this thing being meta on Prison. I don't think like you're going to be like consistently winning fights. You literally have to use it as an SMG, right? So it's just like it'd be good in admin, and you know, obviously if you're point blank, you'll be fine with it most of the time against some other ARs, but it's not going to be as dominant as it was. Moving on to AUG. Don't think AUG's seen any significant changes since my last tier list. I'm trying to think. The AUG suffers the 5.56 curse. These guns are just set in stone to be mid tier, it feels like. Only thing is I had the ammo additions to it. I think this is B tier for me. Probably near the top of B tier, but the AUG has just been kind of this like mid-tier gun. It's good for budget, it's good for range, and it's great at tapping heads, but unfortunately that doesn't make it a top gun, and it just doesn't have any good pen because it's a 5.56 gun. Like you're gonna see me talk about the 5.56 guns, almost all of them feel great, but they just don't do well against better gear. They take too many bolts to kill. The penetration on the guns and the bullets is just not good. Snipers, I think, should be a different category. Every sniper in the game is basically, I think, needed. Like I'd almost say they're all like S tier, you know, but they're just, I'm gonna automatically put snipers. Like I could literally put all of them in A tier just because I want to showcase the main meta weapons. But you guys have to understand that the the M82, the M700, R93, like I always use snipers as secondaries for good reason. Snipers are extremely dominant in this game at long range in normal and hard mode. If you're trying to win fights consistently and wipe and get entries and picks, snipers are a necessity. I think you're kind of trolling if you don't have a sniper secondary in most situations. Obviously, I will say I'll rank them right here. Is the best sniper in the game. The Barrett's right behind it, M82, and then I'd say, like I said, we could make a different little category for it. Maybe I could draw something in paint real quick. All right, actually, I'll just open this link again. Every sniper's meta. You should always be using a sniper. It's kind of its own category. These are how I would rank the snipers. They're very similar. R93. So is the best sniper in the game. One shots, has insane flexibility with handling. It's just quick. Attack stance is extremely strong. M82 is similar, just has worse handling and just feels a bit slower to use. M700 has the best full builds you can do in the game. My handling M700 just feels insane. It's super quick and super fun to use. R93 is the best budget sniper in the game. The base handling on R93 is better than these other two, so this is why I put it right there. And the SV98 is fine. It's just the weakest sniper and uses a caliber that's not common for the other snipers. So this is just the sniper tier list. Put this on its side. 93R, I know what you want me to say about that. It's just a pistol. Can't do much in the game with pistols. Great for shooting bots and AI, but that's kind of that. Bison, another scav gun. Nothing to say here. Bison will never be good until it gets gold bullets. There's gonna be a couple SMGs that could be good, but they just don't get gold bullets. So that's kind of where they're at. Bow, bro. I don't even know how to rank this. Bow is like, it's a super high skill ceiling weapon. I think if you're actually insanely good with the bow, it could literally be S tier. It's like you can challenge snipers close range and you're completely silent. Like, I don't know, it's actually a problem. You can cause some serious problems with the bow if you get good with it, but it's got a super high skill ceiling. So I'd say probably top of B tier, maybe low end A tier. It's just completely dependent on the player. It costs a lot to run too if you want to use full builds, but you can budget it pretty decent. It's not going to be consistently good across every map in every type of fight. It's a very niche situational thing. And the bow got the attachment where you could do like a rapid fire bow this season, but from the bow gamers that I've heard, the bow experts in my chat, the new attachment isn't that great because it actually limits its range and velocity. All right, moving on. Car 15 time. That's why the blurb came in. Top of C tier. Top of C tier for the Car 15. Look, I'm glad that PhD's not here, and I'm sorry to all the Car 15 lovers. We have a Car 15 cult within the chat. I don't want to go too into this to piss people off. The Car 15 is great. Unfortunately, it just gets beaten by a lot of things. You know what I mean? It just gets beaten. That's just kind of where it's at. Yeah, it's a scav gun, but it's a better scav gun because you can actually customize it a bit. But again, it's the gun that you don't. It's a 5.56 gun. You know what I mean? We've kind of gone over the 5.56. Okay, moving along. Now here is the interesting one. This one I've been trying to ponder where I want to put this because the CI-19 has been an S tier gun for the past 3 or 4 seasons, I'd say. I think it fell a bit behind. If you asked me at the end of last season, I would say it was an A tier gun. I wouldn't put it S tier. I think there was a couple guns that I'd put above it. But this season, they added a new bullet, if you guys don't know. And this bullet basically grants a lot more horizontal control and stability. So I have pretty insane handling on the CI now. Like, I have really good movement speed and ADS speed with this. And with these new bullets, it is just a beam. So if you have like these regular gold bullets, it's a lot harder to control. And it's a little more bouncy left and right. Like, I don't know how easy this is to... I think because of the seasonal ammo, I wanna put it back at S tier and keep it there. It has been S tier in my last couple tier lists, and I think if that ammo wasn't there, I'd put it at the top of A tier. But I think that because we're seeing a slight M7 nerf and kind of a meta shift and stuff like that, the CI is still going to be a really good option because it's going to be cheaper than a lot of these other guns. The CI will continue to be cheaper than a Val. It will continue to be cheaper than an M7. It will be cheaper than SVCH. So like, if it's cheaper than those guns and can contend with them and probably do better at range than them, I think it's an S tier gun. I am including seasonal ammo for all of their guns. Acknowledge, I'm taking it into account. Yeah, so the CI is gonna be the first S tier gun we have. I think it's just super good and it can be used in so many different ways. Like, it's a great red dot handling build. It can be great with a scope. It's good on every map. It's got a good fire rate, got a good pen. It now has these new bullets that can concuss you and give you better horizontal recoil so you can change your builds. There's not really a downside to the CI other than there's some guns that just are similar that had a bit more damage. I mean, really only M7. Okay, Deagle C tier as well. They've added new attachments for it. It can one tap with the gold bullets if you get the season limited ammo, 20 meters I think it is, on 40 gold helmets and below, but it's too hard to use. The skill ceiling is just way too high on it. Body shots don't do anything. You literally have to hit headshots. It's just kind of whatever, but you do have the one tap potential, so we'll throw it up there. FS12 I'm gonna put in B tier. This thing has a lot of flexibility, mainly because it can be used as a secondary. So you literally can, or a tertiary, whatever you want to call it, like it can be put in your pistol slot and you can just tear people's legs off. So this is good because of how cheap it is. And you have the rip options with it. You also have the dragon's breath, and the gun's just really cheap. I need to honestly, if I was sweating really hard, you'd put the FS12 always in your pistol slot, because if you like run out of bullets, so you swap to that, if a guy's low, like you'll just put him down. You know, it's good. Moving along, G17 D tier single fire pistol. This is not the G18. G18 is going to be B tier as well. Probably your best pistol in the game. You can use the new purple rip bullets. I don't even want to promote this shit. It's got the highest fire rate I think of anything in the game. It can shred people, but again, you're limited to just close range. But yeah, G18's been consistently good. Okay, moving along, G3. This is going to be a B tier gun as well. Kind of just your mid tier gun. You can do some good budget options with it and definitely fry some people. You have some options with some cheap red dot builds, but then you also go scoped and deal some decent damage at range. I mean, it's a pretty stable gun, but it's too slow of a fire rate and won't compete, and you'll just lose to a lot of guns in the A tier and S tier. But it's good when you're first starting out. G3 is like one of the first guns I played a lot of when I first started playing the game, using M80s and M62s. It's pretty fun. K416, if you guys have been listening, you know where this is going to go. It's going to go below. This is I'm going to try to order these guns exactly how I'd use them. This is so far pretty accurate. What's going on here? It's all back. All right, where were we at? Sorry about that. Okay, oh, we're on to some big guns. You look at that. K437. You don't know how badly I want to put this in S tier. You don't know how badly I want to put this in S tier, bro. It's so good. Like, I actually think the K437 might be like the best feeling shooting AR in the game. Like, it feels so good. It has such ridiculous ADS movement speed while being such a beam. It just doesn't have it's the same fate that the K416, the AR-57, they all suffer. It just doesn't have the best pen. Yeah, it's gonna be at the very top of A tier. I don't think I can put it in S. That's tough. It's such a good gun. It feels so good. And every map, it's insane. Got a great fire rate. You can use it scoped or red dot. It's super consistent. KC-17, it's an S tier gun. Now, I will say it was definitely like Giga S. It had the BS plus rounds. If you still have them, it's gonna be really good, but most people are just gonna be using BS. You're not gonna have the BS plus. Yeah, the KC is just super good. I mean, scoped, red dot, budget, good on every map, has the highest pen of any rifle in the game if you're using BS plus. This shit legit farms red armor. It's very similar to like the K437, except it has the pen. It doesn't have the damage the K437 has, but it just destroys people. Last season, it felt like it could have been the best gun in the game. I think M7 still beat it because of the damage, but like, my God, you could just fucking destroy people. If you hit headshots with this thing on red too, it just destroys people. M1014 shotgun, moving along. We'll put that in D tier. Not much to say about this. Pretty much never used. There's just better shotguns. It's M14 chat, M14. Where do we put the M14? I still think I want to put the M14 S tier. I do think red dot, close to medium, it's still extremely good across pretty much every map I think it's fine on. It is getting beaten though. Like, it's just weird because I don't know why you'd use M14 now over SVCH, especially if its cost is similar. Mid A at best. You guys don't like the S tier pick? It just like, guys, you have to be realistic though. You guys have to be realistic. Is the M14 gonna lose? If you're in, like, I'm thinking, you know, again, I'm treating it as like meta and hard mode, max gear. If you're in max, you're not losing M14 to K437, Val, AR57, K416. Like, these guns aren't beating it in red consistently. Are we treating this gun as somebody who can perfectly control the gun? I don't think you have to perfectly control the gun. It's a fucking mess to shoot. There's nobody that controls the M14 amazingly. It shoots all over the place, but it still hits. It's a truck, bro. I mean, it just beats these guns. I mean, I don't know what we're saying here. Okay, you guys may have convinced me to put it in A tier. I would say it's S tier, but I think the community, I mean, it's at the bottom of S or top of A. I gotta see how many guns I'm gonna put in S tier because I may get pushed it out anyways, but it's like right there. Put it low S for now, but we may push it out. M16 D tier, not much going on here. Unfortunate. Guns never changing. 5.56 weak. Can't put attachments on it. Doesn't deal damage. M1911 D tier, nothing going on there. M249, and now here's a gun I haven't used much of. It is another 5.56 gun, but it's like, it's one of the better F5.56 gun. I think it's right there with the K4. I think the K4 is still better, but I think the M249 is a good budget option, and you also got the attachment where you can do like the saw build last season, which I think is pretty cool too. I think I'd put this, it's either gonna be top of B or low A. I think I'm gonna put it at top of B for right now. We're assuming chainsaw or not. I'm gonna assume chainsaw, yeah. I think if you have both, like I said, it's right there. Like, it's right in the edge of low A, low B, or high B. We might move stuff at the end. Like, I don't like to have like certain sections that are just super filled, you know? Like, if I have some that are like riding right on the line, I might bump them up or bump them down. M250, the M250. It's another gun that rides the line of like S tier, A tier, but I think there's too many downsides to the M250. It's like, it's almost unmatched of how much damage this gun deals. M250 hits like a truck, but it feels like it's driving a cement truck. Yeah, it costs a load. You're slowish with it. It has a firing delay. It feels pretty situational. You just lose to a lot of things now with it. But goddamn, if you hit a fucking headshot, or if you get first bullet with this thing, you pretty much put everything down. Not lootable. Yeah, fucking 2x6. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go top of A tier. Yeah, I think it's top of A tier. I don't think I can justify putting that in S. I think there's too many downsides to it. And this is not a mobile tier list. I know mobile's a bit different. I know people are gonna slam me for that. Mobile, we were just talking about, this thing apparently slams in mobile, but I don't play mobile. And it is weird, but there is different kind of gun balance, I think, for mobile and just the way it feels sometimes. M4A1, this is gonna go above. I don't know if I put the M4A1 above AUG. I think I'll put the M4A1 above AUG. I feel like it has more flexibility. I think red dot builds are better with the M4A1 just with like fire rate and stuff like that. But it's right there around the 5.56 guns. I mean, yeah, I think the K416 is going to be the only 5.56 gun I will put above other 5.56. But yeah, it's just an easy B. Consistent, good beginner gun, good mid-tier gun. You can literally do whatever you want with this. Long range, short range, expensive, budget. It's just like, it's a good normal kind of like gun learning the game. No bullshit. Yep. All right, M7's still S tier. It's still, unfortunately, the nerf this season, I kind of wish it got nerfed harder, but the nerf didn't do much to it. It didn't change the time to kill other than like I think with limb shots it is. And then also got a new bullet that can kind of potentially make some builds better. The new bullet type you can stack to 90 and you just get better, I think it's horizontal recoil as the mag goes on. So, and I don't think it changes time to kill on chest. I think it's the same, but yeah, still 4 tap. Yeah, it's This needs to be nerfed. I mean, M7's been S tier every season. I guess it's people just want like a consistent best gun in the game. I don't know if it holds the title as best gun in the game anymore though. I'm not gonna lie, but it is just, it's right there. I don't think you can really run this gun budget anymore. I think running the gun budget's pretty troll. I think you need the barrel to use it. I just think if you're gonna run a 400, because like 400k, like to run an M7 budget, it's still like a 400 or 500k gun, and there's just better. You can buy a full build gun. You can buy literally a full build gun that's really good for 400 or 500k with other guns. But yeah, I think just end game red dot scope builds. Yeah, M7's just always gonna be there. Lever action is fun. Lever action is very fun. Have a couple different things you can do with it. I think this is a B tier gun. You can run it as like a closer range sniper in one tap gold helmets, even motos and stuff up to 45 meters with the gold bullets if you use the specific firing delay trigger thing. I can't remember what it's called. That's really good. And then you can do the rip fast trigger option as well. It's just a fun gun. It's cheap. It's really good if you can get to the right positions with it. MCX. We're getting to the point where the tier list is getting too big. MCX is just going to be another mid-tier B. It's great budget, but that's pretty much all it is. It's just like MCX is your K437. So if you guys want to use an MCX, you like it, but you want to use something that's better, use a K437. I think that's fine. The cost is just so cheap. If it was more expensive, then I think it'd be a C tier gun, but it's just consistently cheap and you can use it kind of however you want. Mini 14, I'd say C tier. You can do some kind of creative builds with it. It can be kind of fun sometimes, but it's still a 5.56 gun at the end of the day. You have some range with it that can make it a little bit interesting. MCX is a giggle compared to K437. Yeah. MK4, MK4, MK4. I think I'm gonna put this at bottom of A tier. I think MK4 is really fun and it is really good. It's probably the most unique SMG in the game that kind of has some variability with it. It just, you know, doesn't have pen. It's really only good at like close to mid-range, but it actually can challenge mid-range because it uses burst. And I will say don't use a full auto barrel of the MK4, but I do think this gun's pretty fun and it is good. It is unique. All right, MK47. I'm gonna put right near the top A tier. The gun is very good, but it's just extremely difficult to use. It's just like almost every gun around it in this tier list is just easier to use. I think if it gets a slight buff, then it could be S tier. It has insane damage in pen, but it just has an enormous amount of the initial vertical recoil on the kick that's just really hard to consistently manage. I think if you get extremely good with this gun and use it all the time, then it could be an S tier gun. But if you're bouncing around using different guns and shit like that, it's one of those, it's got a drastic difference in how it shoots compared to other guns. The fire rate is disappointing sometimes too though. You'll end up losing a lot of fights just due to fire rate with it. I think it really comes down to, it's a really good gun, but it's harder to use than almost every other gun around it. If you get extremely good with it though and you main it a lot, then it's an S tier gun for sure. Okay, MP5 is C tier. No gold bullets for it yet. Not too much you can do with it. It can be used as a rip gun, but you know, rip can pretty much be used in anything. But like a G18 would be an MP5, I'd say close range pretty consistently. MP7 we're gonna put above the MK4, but that'll go A tier as well. I think MP7 is probably still the best SMG in the game. MP7 is still really fun to use, just won't be red armor, but it's very good close range, super high fire rate, pretty cheap to run. Yeah, it's very good. Not much to say there. P90 I'll put at the top of B tier. I don't think it's as good as the MP7 or MK4, but it's similar to the MP7. It does cost quite a lot sometimes. The bullets cost a shitload, and for some reason the full build MP90s are usually expensive, but you're just really limited. No range on it. MP7 feels better at range. I really like the P90 as a budget option. Full build not so much. I'd take a full build MK4 MP7 over it. Double headies like that you're talking about. Like I'd much rather take an M7 or MK. Like I just would. It just feels way easier to use. PKM we're gonna put top, or not top, we're just gonna put mid A tier. Very fun to use. I think this thing could use a little adjustment. I think the PKM could literally be like an S tier gun or top of A tier if they just gave it a smaller mag. If you could get more handling with a PKM, if I could run around with like a 30 or 40 mag PKM, I think that can make a big difference with that gun. It's fun, it's good. It just loses to a lot of these other guns and the handling just doesn't feel as good. It's a bit harder to control. Yeah, it is a bit harder to control. Okay, into some marksman rifles. PSG I think is B tier. I think it's just a consistent marksman rifle, pretty good, but I think there's just better ones. Not too much going on here that's really special to PSG. PDR scav gun D tier. QBZ top of C tier. QBZ needs some love. Nothing's ever really been done for it. Decent budget weapon, but it's just completely mediocre. QCQ C tier. Completely carried by rip. Has some different variability you can do with it, but you won't really see this being used other than like a full build rip gun. Yeah, don't have gold bullets for it, so you're pretty much limited to rip. QJB I'll put pretty high in A tier. QJB is fun. I think using no block in it is best. It's pretty cheap to run, and you have some variability with it. It can be used at a lot of different situations. And then if you do want to use it more situationally, you can put the stable block in. It's an absolute beam, or you go fire rate block and you have some bloom, but it just destroys close range. But QJB is fun. Yeah, I'd say maybe not better than K4 though. I'd say I'd take a K4 over QJB. I'd probably put it around there. Maybe even PKM2. I'd take it over that. Yeah, right around there is fine. Don't even know what that pistol is. Straight to D tier. Sniper going to the bottom. Revolver, whatever. We're throwing C tier just because it's a storage thing. Just being able to carry out more money. W. S12K shotgun. We'll put that like near the top of C tier. I think it's probably the best Dragon's Breath shotgun in the game with the drum mag. That shit's super overwhelming. It has a shitload of pressure. You're extremely limited what you can do with it, but those close range situations, you could just nuke people, but it is like kind of like a rat gun. Okay, Scar H, the Fallen God. Yeah, I'll put this at like the top of B tier. It's just unfortunately got a slow fire rate and the handling just doesn't feel great. It's just a very mediocre gun. I think like it could be good budget. It feels good to shoot sometimes, but just doesn't have the same power it once did. The Scar used to be the best gun of the game very early on, but that's where we're at now. Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a B tier gun. AK-12 of Scarver buff. Yeah, you might be right on that. You might be right on that. Where even is the AK-12? I don't have it. Yeah, it shouldn't be at the bottom. AK-12 is definitely better. I put it around here. I haven't tested it though. I still feel like I'd like the Scar just for damage over the AK-12, but I definitely need to go higher. No gun is budget in this economy. True. SG, C tier. Worst 5.56 and the other 5.56. That's pretty much all we got for that. SKS, I've been getting some love recently. I think it's more because of the comp play and you have some variability with it. I think it's pretty good budget. I'd say it's probably near the top of B tier. I don't know, it's just weird because it's not, you wouldn't use it as a primary. That's my thing, is like you wouldn't use it as a primary. So I don't know, like if you're trying to just dual SKS versus these guns, like close range and stuff, you're gonna struggle. You gotta use it as like a sniper. I mean, it's like it's low A, top B. I mean, it's just kind of different. It's like a weird category gun because it's kind of like a sniper. Maybe I should have put that in the sniper tier list, but I've been using a little bit. But yeah, it's top B, low S. You just kind of got to use it as a sniper replacement. It's specifically good like on AZ3 and stuff like that. I think AZ3 is gonna make the Marksman rifles shine a lot more, and you see more use cases for them. All right, SMG 45, C tier gun. I don't know, nothing really to say about this. It seems weaker than pretty much every SMG in the game. It's just different. Like it's slow fire rate. It can be a beam, but you're not dealing much damage. So I don't know why you use it. SR3M I'd say is an A tier gun, probably near the bottom here. It's consistently good, but not great. I mean, that's all it is. It can't be an AR. It can't be an SMG. It doesn't beat SMG's close range. Like it won't beat a fucking MP7 or MK4 consistently. But this gun also can't beat like these ARs above it. It's like, it's just this weird middle ground. It's just kind of like, it's a great budget gun. SR3M is one of the best budget guns in the game. It's consistently cheap as fuck for some reason. Like that SR3M belt I was using the other day is like actually fire. Like look at this thing. Like this thing is a beam. It doesn't have any range, but this thing is just like the movement speed is crazy. I have really good accuracy with it. Like it doesn't move, and this is like a 200k gun or some shit. Like 220 it says, you know. I have 3 purple attachments on it. Like it's good, but it just doesn't beat the peak of like each category. It's like just a decent gun. If you put a 45 mag on it too though, so it has some, it has a lot of customizable shit you can do to it. I think that makes it like better than some other guns. Like I'd take an SR3M over a P90, a Scar H, M24, like all these guns, you know, that's kind of how you got to rate it. It's a great with a sniper combo, yeah, for sure. SR25, I'd throw in B tier. Kind of want to put it, yeah, no, I'd say B tier. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of like the Marksman rifles that aren't like, I guess, the M14 or SKS. Like the slower shooting ones, I feel like they just get beat out by snipers a lot. I think they'll be very good on like AZ3. I want to try some more SR25 builds soon. It's one of those guns too that's good, but it's not great. Like it just loses to snipers consistently, I feel like. And if you get first bullet on people, a lot of times you can win and you can kill them if they're like in a sprint, but just like head-to-head fights, it doesn't feel great. SR9 D tier. Yeah, you can do crazy budget with it, man. The LASIK budget build, the Gorilla budget build, you can do crazy budget builds with it, man. Doesn't mean it's fucking good. It's still dog shit. Sniper. SVD's right there at the top of B as well. I'd put it right behind the SKS. Actually, I'd probably put it above SKS. I put it above SKS just because you have the one-shot potential, but it's very similar. Like it's very good situationally. He's gonna be good on the new map again, but you lose to snipers a lot, and it feels like awkward. I don't know. You can't get very good handling builds with SVD. Yeah, I can only one tap with red bullets, but which I don't even know if I can one tap 50-50 motos. That's the advantage the SVD's got over the like the PSG and SR25 is it can one tap. Have to use the red bullets though. You're pretty limited to that. But yeah, I think I like that. You can maybe throw it in A tier. Yeah, fuck it. We'll throw an A tier just because it can do that. Okay, Uzi, another scav gun, D tier. Can't do much of that. Vector, top of C tier. It loses, I think, to every other SMG, unfortunately, even with the gold bullets, because they just nerfed the hell out of the gold bullets. If the gold bullets were decent, they didn't have like the mitigated flesh, then it would be really good, but yeah. Vityaz, another scav gun, D tier. Just it's carried by Rip. It's terrible. Every SMG beats it. If you can throw a Rip in it, it's fine, whatever. VSS, D tier. Nothing good to say about the VSS at all. Okay, and then we're to the last two guns, because I did the sniper tier list already before right here. Last two guns are the new guns. SVCH and RM277. So I'm gonna start with the RM. I think the RM is near the mid to top of A tier. I'd probably throw it around probably above, yeah, K416. I think RM is a really unique gun, and it's one of the first guns in a long time that I enjoy using an AR with a scope. I think it's pretty cheap to run. I think there's also gonna be very good budget builds for the RM. I'm trying to build one today. I think the RM is it's a really cool, unique gun. It does really good damage, can be used at long range, which you can't really say for a lot of these ARs. Like the RM will consistently beat like these types of guns at long range, right? RM with a scope will beat an MK47 at range. It'll beat a Val. It'll beat an AR-57. It'll beat a K437. The RM will lose to these guns close range though. So it's kind of like that give and take. But I do think it's kind of cheap. Like the RM is going to be cheaper than I think all these guns. M250, K4, MK, AS Val, AR. So it's kind of it's an interesting spot. I think it's really good. It's literally a better version of the AUG. That's a pretty good comparison. Yeah, 70 meters plus for rifle range is crazy. Yeah, it feels really good at long range. Yeah, line. I've been using scope build on the RM, but I go in tac stance close range, and it doesn't feel as bad. If you tac stance it because you don't have the handling loss, the RM doesn't feel as bad. But if you're trying to ADS, yeah, it can be a problem. And then finally, SVCH. SVCH is an S tier gun. Yeah, I mean, I've just been calling this thing the fucking destroyer. It just feels like a better M14. That's kind of what it feels like. If you guys haven't used it too much yet, if you use the full auto barrel, it is very hard to control. I think it takes some practice and kind of figuring out the right build, but I think in a close to medium range fight, I think it beats everything if you don't miss. That's the thing. Like it is a little messy sometimes. I think it's some practice getting used to, but it just has so much damage in pen. Like it just hits so hard. It is inconsistent. It's going to be expensive. Now, the one thing that's cool about it, I haven't really used much, but you can go single fire on it, and it is still really good at range. Like it can be good as single tapping as well. So it kind of has some flexibility, but you can, because you can't really do that with an M14. The M14 just doesn't make sense to use at long range of like single tapping. It just doesn't deal the damage, doesn't have the range, but the SV does have that. So it kind of is like a flexible gun in that sense. Now I am curious, and I kind of wanted to do this. I am curious if an SV can be built budget, because I haven't really tried that yet, and it's most definitely an S tier gun too, or even like a top S tier gun if you can kind of build it budget to where it's not terrible. But I feel like it's gonna be hard to build budget. It's pretty similar to the M14. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I still think the M7 is still probably the best all-around gun in the game, but I do feel comfortable saying that these are the 5 guns that I think are gonna be the most consistent and best in like a hard mode situation against red armor. That's kind of how I'm judging it. I think, again, there's some caveats. Like I think the AS Val is still probably going to be S tier on like prison. I think the MK47 can be S tier if you like main it, but for most people the MK47 is too difficult to use to where it'll be an S tier gun. But I think both those MK and AS Val have potential to be S tier depending on the player. The K437, I would love to throw an S tier as well, but it's going to lose to a lot of these guns above it if it's red versus red. The KC is, it kind of stinks though, is like the KC I do think being S is reliant on the BS plus rounds. The KC with the BS plus rounds feels like nothing's better in the game. Like I literally think the KC with BS plus, my build with like the movement speed and how much of a beam that fucking gun is, it breaks red armor faster than anything else in the game, right? So it's a bottom S tier gun, top of A if it's not BS plus. If you have BS plus though, this gun is like top of S tier. But yeah, I think this is a quick scroll. This is, I think I'm liking where everything ended up. Let me see if I want to move anything around here. It actually ended up pretty even. Like each section kind of had a similar amount here. Yeah, I think I like it.